Hey everyone, I'm Krexu, and welcome back to another video on this channel. Today, exceptionally, it's an episode about Create Aeronautics mods. Without further ado, let's jump right in. Create Linear Bearing adds a special linear bearing that lets you create moving platforms that travel along a rail using the physics from Create Aeronautics. Thanks to this, we can now build things like, for example, cranes that can be used to raise and lower a city gate. All you have to do is place a rail, put the special linear bearing block on it, and glue any structure to it using super glue. Once activated, the whole thing automatically turns into a physical object using the Sable engine. What's cool is that the add-on can also create just the moving platform on its own, even without an attached structure, which gives you a lot of options when building your own mechanisms. The author is also working on a system for locking movement to a single axis, as well as the ability to turn the structure back into regular blocks again, which sounds really good. Create Deep Seas is an add-on that lets you build fully functional submarines. We get the ability to place special blocks that let us have a ship that's full of oxygen inside. What's important is that from now on, we also have to watch out for the pressure at greater depths, because otherwise, for example, glass will start cracking on us. We can replace it with special upgraded glass that lets us go down to a depth of up to 200 blocks. And if that wasn't enough, a special water bomb has also been added, which floats above the water, and when you sail into it, it blows up a really big chunk of the ship. The author is also planning to add a completely new biome, or even a whole new dimension, where new structures and water creatures will show up. In my opinion, this is one of the better underwater add-ons. Create Aeronautics Structures adds completely new structures to the world, built out of Create and Create Aeronautics blocks. While exploring, we can come across things like abandoned ships, flying airships, flying balloons, crashed planes, or even a special engineer's building. The author also made sure that all the structures don't mess up the game balance and mainly serve as a climate-fitting atmospheric addition to the world, which in my opinion, he nailed perfectly. It's not a big add-on, but it fits perfectly into the whole Create Aeronautics vibe. Sable hose connectors add special connectors that let you transfer items, fluids, energy, and rotational power between ships and the world. Thanks to this, we no longer have to manually carry resources around or rebuild entire structures. The add-on adds a few different types of connectors. Hose connectors handle transferring fluids, item hose connectors transport items, electric wire connectors let you transfer energy, and chain connectors pass rotational power between structures. What's cool is that most of them also come in a magnetic version, which automatically connects when you bring two matching connectors close together. On top of that, you can turn that connection on or off at any time using a redstone signal, which opens up a lot of possibilities when building more advanced machines and docking systems. Create Aeronautics Throwable Rope Connector is a small add-on that makes it a lot easier to create rope connections between our structures. Instead of having to manually walk up to the spot where we want to attach a rope every single time, we can now do it from a distance, which really speeds up building and docking our ships. From now on, we have the ability to throw rope connectors. We can do it by hand, shoot them out using a special rope connector launcher, or mount a mounted rope launcher directly onto our structure. If we hit the right surface, the add-on automatically places the rope connector, and we immediately get a connected rope coupling, which we just need to hook up to the rope winch. What's interesting is that failed throws don't use up ammo by default, and pretty much all the important settings like range or how it behaves can be freely changed in the config. We've been growing like crazy lately, so hit that subscribe button and join the crew. Create Aeronautics Discovery is an interesting add-on that makes the world feel a lot more alive by adding completely new events tied to flying ships. From now on, during normal gameplay, we can spot special events in the sky, like for example, a falling balloon where we can find some cool loot, or a passing plane with a special villager on board. On that plane, we'll also find some valuable loot. The loot balloons will descend really slowly, but if we want to speed that up a bit, we can shoot it with a bow, so it explodes and drops all the items on the ground. What's important is that both of these ships use the mod's full physics. The best part is that the whole mod can be 100% customized to your preferences, thanks to the extensive config options. Create Coasters Simulated is a really unique and special add-on that lets you build fully functional roller coasters using the Sable engine's physics. Thanks to this, we can create realistic tracks with sharp turns, steep drops, or even gaps for jumps, and the carts behave exactly the way you'd expect from a real roller coaster. To place tracks, all we have to do is place a track anchor point in two spots and connect them with tracks. Of course, that alone wouldn't be enough. Holding a wrench in hand, we're able to fully customize the whole track in every way. We can bend it, raise it, or even twist it, and all of that in an incredibly simple way. On top of that, we can obviously also color the tracks. And if we want to make an uphill section, all we have to do is add regular chains to the tracks, which will pull our cart up. But the most important thing, to place a cart, all we have to do is place the new coaster cart block on the tracks and build our own cart around it. Besides the tracks and the cart, the add-on also adds a few extra things, like little balloons that will lift various blocks slightly off the ground, and rivets which let you connect structures together. In my opinion, one of the better add-ons for messing around on a multiplayer server. Create Tracks adds tracks to the game, thanks to which we can build fully functional tanks, bulldozers, and other tracked vehicles using the mechanics of Create Aeronautics. Besides the tracks themselves, the add-on also introduces a special suspension key, which lets us make a bunch of modifications to our tracks in a really simple way. We can, for example, adjust the suspension height, the speed of the whole vehicle, or we even have the option to shift the tracks further forward so they don't get stuck on ramps. On top of that, the add-on lets us paint the tracks or remove their color with water. In my opinion, one of the better add-ons of this kind. Create Aeronautics Gyroscope Stabilizers adds a special gyroscope that automatically stabilizes our ships or structures during flight. Thanks to this, structures stop tilting to the sides and swaying, which makes steering a lot easier, especially with bigger machines. All you have to do is mount the gyroscope stabilizer onto your structure and feed rotational power into it. The higher the RPM the gyroscope gets, the more effectively it stabilizes the ship and limits its tilting and sideways rotation. Thanks to this, even heavier or unevenly built structures behave a lot more reliably in use, and steering becomes way more comfortable. Create the Air War is an add-on that adds a bunch of brand new weapons made specifically for ships from Create Aeronautics. Among other things, the mod adds short-range rockets, which we can fire off using a redstone activation, and of course we also get long-range rockets, which are activated the same way. On top of that, we'll also find powerful bombs here, which are perfect for a bomber. There's also a regular machine gun, which also deals really high damage. The whole thing was made to work together with Create Aeronautics and the Sable engine, so all the new weapons work directly on flying structures. Aeronautics Camera Sync makes the camera automatically sync our view with the moving floor we're standing on. Instead of staying still relative to the world, the view smoothly tilts along with the structure, which gives a much better feel during gameplay. The camera tilt works really smoothly and is fully synced with the ship's movement. Thanks to this, during turns, tilts, or other maneuvers, our perspective behaves naturally, as if we were actually on board a flying machine. Best part is, we can fully configure everything using, for example, the mod menu. Create Aeronautics Kinetic Grip adds special grips to the game that we can use directly as a player. They work practically the same as the classic grips from Create Aeronautics, but they were designed specifically to be operated by the player, which makes them a lot easier to use. For example, from now on, we're able to build a mechanical saw or a handheld drill. That's just one example because it can really be used in a lot of different machines. Create Cardan Shafts adds special Cardan shafts that let you transfer rotational power between moving structures. The add-on introduces special Cardan shaft connector joints, which link together and pass power even between moving elements based on the Sable engine. And on top of that, they can also be used on stationary machines, which will noticeably improve the visual look of your machines. What's interesting is that we can adjust the length of the shafts so we can easily fit them to our own build. Worth remembering, the max range of a shaft like this is 12 blocks. It's a small add-on, but it opens up quite a lot of new possibilities when building more complex machines in Create Aeronautics. Create Propulsion Simulated adds a completely new propulsion system to the game based on jet engines. Thanks to this, our ships or vehicles can move using special thrusters, which generate huge power, letting us move a lot faster. We'll be able to place a few engines in different spots on the ship, which will have a real effect on how it moves. It's worth remembering that this is a jet engine, so if we go into the exhaust, we'll take really heavy damage. Create Bits and Bobs is an add-on that's perfect for builders since it adds a ton of small decorative and mechanical pieces that fit perfectly into the whole mechanics of the mod. Thanks to this, we can build even more polished ships, machines, and factories without actually changing the gameplay itself. Among other things, the add-on introduces chain drives for gears, new lamp and light bulb variants, chairs, extra versions of the Nixie tube, new support beam elements, and a few new decorative blocks. What's interesting is that some features can be freely turned on or off in the config, so we can easily fit the add-on to our own mod pack. In my opinion, a perfect little add-on that'll spice up our ships. I'm really glad you made it this far into the video. Don't forget to smash that like button and leave a nice comment below. Thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.